You listen to some of those guys after that loss in Arizona, they have completely shut it down. Rodgers sounded like he couldn't get back in that bunker with the darkness retreat fast enough after that game on Sunday. He is so finished. They all are gutless.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, on the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
Maybe you've heard of the infinite monkey theory. A monkey randomly typing on a typewriter for an infinite amount of time could eventually type out the complete works of Shakespeare.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it.
A University of Technology in Sydney decided to test this theory. What would happen if a reasonable population of 200,000 monkeys all typing one letter per second until the end of time? The universe, a cold, dead cinder. The number 10 with 99 zeros, years. The answer? There's only a 5% chance that a single monkey would even type the word bananas.
So what you're saying is, it's not to be.
Follow me at Chicapalbo on X, and stay tuned to the Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more, all in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime, on the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
When the weather cools off.
Major League Baseball playoffs heat up. Sit tight. The World Series is coming. Keep it here for every bit of the action with strategies and information to give you the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Please welcome.
It's the opening kickoff with Carver and Lisi.
All right, here we go. Carver and Lisi with you. SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM, channel 159. Great to have you with us on a Friday night on the grid. 844-843-6879 is the number, as we have a lot going on here this evening. You know how Fridays usually go around here. Hour 1, college football, preview and picks. Hour 2, NFL, preview and picks. There's a couple of other things, though, happening here. I haven't talked to Joe all week. The guy's been all over the place. So, there's probably several things that me and Joe are going to branch off into along with that. 2, there's actually a lot of things going on tonight. We have 4 college football games on a Friday night. There's all these NBA Cup games going on for this great in-season tournament that they have cooking. And you have the Tyson Jake Paul fight tonight. That's also on the docket. So there is some things happening, but what our bread and butter will be. Got the college hour 1, got the NFL hour number 2. Mike Carver with you, and the encyclopedia of college football, the one, the only. Go for the 2, Joe Lisi. Hi, Joe.
You didn't think I would make it, did you? I'm here. I'm locked. I'm loaded. I'm ready. This is it. You thought you were going to avoid me. I just fresh off the plane, Carver. Friday night. I'm pumped up. 2 hours, college pro. I'm taking you down this weekend. You thought you were going to avoid me. I'm on a heater. An absolute heater. What am I, 20-4 with the college picks? 20-4? I'm telling you, I'm amped up. And just so you know, we got Jake Paul Tyson. We got 4 games tonight. By the way, I tell you, Houston, Arizona is a dynamic game. I'm really looking forward. I'm going to go
up and away. You want to go up and away?
You get me in on that. Willie Fritz. A little
up. Party over. Friday night. Party over.
Buy high and sell higher. Buy high and sell higher. You know That's the methodology.
You know what, Joe? I don't even need a reason. I'm in. Houston,
All right.
Arizona, party over late night. Let's go.
10 o'clock kick. So
Let's
we got
rock.
that pocket. Let me just say this, though. I wasn't too confident middle of the week about the college picks, and I've been all over the place, right? I guess I'm at that level now. This is where I'm at, right? But
Yeah.
I looked at the 7 selections for college football. It looks like a Picasso. It is coming together like the way I just picked these. And let me just 1, 2, 3, 4,
Now,
5, 6.
Hold on a second.
Dogs. 6 dogs.
Oh,
for the
wow,
weekend.
dogs
Look,
barking for you, huh? I think I have 2, and we're probably on the same ones. I have 2 that I think are going to win outright, Joe. Outright. The dogs are going to be barking this weekend.
Okay. All right.
Wait a second. What did you say your run was with the college? You threw some Fugazi number out there? What did you say?
Fugazi number, Carver. 5-2, 5-2, 4-3.
Wrong.
14
You were
and what?
You were 4-3 last week.
Yeah, and what was I the
Okay.
week before? Come on, go back
You were
to the
4-3 the week before. I have it all in front of me.
Wait,
4-3,
Then
4-3, 5-2.
All right, so wait a minute. 5-2, so 10-4, and then 2 4-3s.
Yes. Yeah. Well, no.
Carver, that's
Stop for a minute.
18-9. 18-9. That's short.
Your
material.
last 4
18
weeks.
and
Your last 4 weeks. You were 5-2 in week 8. You were 5-2 in week 9. You were 4-3 in week 10. You were 4-3 in week 11. So you've gone over. You've gone over.
Carver, are you kidding? 66%. Your portfolio in the S&P doesn't return that. 66%. Over the last 4 weeks, I told you I'm coming down like Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit with the whip. Bam, bam, bam. And guess what? I know everybody missed me on they missed me on Wednesday night. They missed me on Wednesday night. I don't have, not 1, not 2, but 3 smash catalytic converter crypto specials for the college football season, week number 2. This doesn't come out prior to Thanksgiving. I'm putting it out this weekend absolutely free. Absolutely. This is like a $599 value for premium clients. You're getting it absolutely free. Absolutely. I mean, you would have to pay top dollar. This is like going to JP Morgan or like Chase for all that matter. You want a premium wealth advisor, you come to the Carver and Lisi show. What better than this? I know, I can tell you're getting nervous. I know, you're getting nervous.
I'm not, Joe.
You're getting
I'm
nervous.
not nervous at all.
You're
I'm
nervous,
not
I can tell.
Whatsoever. I'm still a couple games up on you in the college, so I'm not worried. We were both 4-3 We've both been 4-3 the last 2 weeks. We've both gone 4-3, 4-3 the last couple weeks in college. So good slate, Joe. We are going to get to. It's an okay slate. This is like the last.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
It's an okay slate. I mean, Tennessee, Georgia is the best game. I mean, there's a couple. There's some intriguing
SEC
games.
Eliminator. What are you talking about? What do you mean it's okay?
By the way, we haven't. Let's do this because I got 3 minutes, and this is. We don't have enough time to spend more than 3 minutes on this tonight. Me and you haven't talked since the Dopes put the list out on Tuesday night with the college football playoff and you notice, Joe, this is all a setup. They want to keep people talking. You know, this is their whole thing for the next 3 weeks until they put the actual rankings out. You know as much as anyone else that Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, and I think I'd even put Tennessee in there. You know that all of those teams would smash Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame, all these teams that are ahead of them right now on that ranking. They would smash any of them in the college football playoff. And I hate saying that. I love Notre Dame. I love Notre Dame. You know that. I don't want to root for you.
I know, but now you're crying. You all year you've been talking about your boy Kirk Signetti, the chin. Oh, we eat nails, we crap.
Yeah, but they're
steel,
not.
right?
They're not better than these SEC teams. They're not.
Oh, now all of a sudden, what are you nervous that they're going to get smashed in a couple of weeks with Ohio State? Is that what you're worried about?
Saturday, 10.5. Give me the 10.5. I'm in on it.
You and Pharrell?
10.5.
You and Pharrell are taking the 10.5?
I'm in on the 10.5. I'll take.
In fact, we got an elimination game.
You could put that on the card for next Friday night right now. Indiana, Signetti, on the road at the Horseshoe. Put it in. He's
put
on
it
my
in.
card. That
Okay,
guy's
tough
been
guy.
good to me all year.
Yeah, he's been
All
good to you. You
year
need a
he's been
bib.
good
You've
to
been
me.
eating so much. You need a bib. Crack crab and
Yeah.
lobster, a little butter sauce in your
It
life.
hasn't been that great. It hasn't been that great.
Come on,
So,
I seen you.
Not like
I know
you, Zach
What
Ertz
it-
last night. Zach
if
Ertz,
you-
you bought the restaurant with your
You want me
Zach
to tell
Ertz touchdown.
You want me to send you the ticket
with the
because I know.
octopus.
Yeah,
The
here I'll
octopus
send
that
it.
you had
I'll
at the
send
end.
it to you here.
Did
just
you play
in
the
case.
octopus too? Were you on the octopus?
No, I wasn't on the 2-point and I didn't play the octopus.
You didn't play the octopus?
Yeah,
Zach?
but I know you get mad when I don't send you the tickets, and then you're going to tell me, here, look, I don't lie.
No, all I said to you was,
look, I don't
never
lie.
denied the tickets. What I said to you was, it would have been nice if you texted me and said, I'm using the boost on this. I'm using the boost on this. Let's, you want to
Now
join
you
the
want
party?
me to,
But no, because you have the syndicate crew there on Thursday night. I'm sure you texted all them. Get the plays in. Here, Donnie, let me put it in there. Make sure you get them in. You didn't do
But
that
now
with
you're
me,
saying
though. I didn't
not
get the text.
Now, let me just get this
text.
straight. You're not in my inner circle anymore. Is that what
I
you're
didn't
trying
get
to
the
say?
text. I didn't get the text about
Whenever
Ertz,
I
about
text
the
you,
live
you
Ertz
don't
play.
adhere to the
I didn't
advice.
get the text. I didn't get the text.
That's not
I
right
didn't get
by
it.
you.
I didn't get it. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. We're back here.
Fall is coming. Don't look like an idiot at work. Know your stuff. Football and everything else. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Know someone with a drinking or drug problem? Learn how to get sober after we share these stories.
I was 35 with 2 beautiful children when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. After my divorce, I went into a depression cycle and started drinking more often and using prescription drugs. After my second DWI and arrest, my ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me.
I was 17 when I became addicted to heroin and meth. I thought I could quit on my own, but I couldn't. It hit me when I was arrested.
Get sober now. Your private insurance may cover costs and we'll get you here. It's simple. Just call Elite Rehab Placement right now. Please, don't wait. Your life matters to us.
800-959-6348. 800-959-6348. 800-959-6348. Call right now before it's too late. That's 800-959-6348.
Sports Rage tonight.
But Elliott missed from 44 earlier, and I didn't care. I was like, yeah, whatever, good. I'm on Washington because I have the long field goal prop over 47.5. But now this bastard just missed a 51-yarder. Now I do care. And now he's screwing with our total. And I should have already just won my long field goal prop like I always do very early in the game.
It's Sports Rage Tonight with Gabe Morency. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. On the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Grady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Days are getting cooler.
The shadows are getting longer.
You know what that means. It's football weather. So bundle up and keep it here for all the latest strategies and gridiron information. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Yeah. And we're back. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. Great to have you with us on the grid. Very, very busy tonight. We have a lot of things to get to and not a lot of time, honestly, to accomplish them. But that's okay. It's just very busy. And part of that is because like me and Joe don't spend enough time together anymore during the week. So we have to cram in so many things. We have to cram in so many things in such a limited amount of time. But that's okay.
Right.
We make it happen either way. Colorado State already up 7-0, Joe, on Wyoming. That's the Mountain West game tonight. out there in Fort Collins. North Texas is visiting the Roadrunners, beep, beep, of UTSA down there in San Antonio, scoreless early in the first. UCLA and Washington, that's a 9 o'clock East kick on Fox. That's on Big Fox tonight, actually.
Yeah.
With Washington, I'm seeing a 4.5, and you got a 46.5. Last Friday night, Joe, we were able to get across the line with that under for UCLA against Iowa. And I'm thinking maybe more along the same here, under tonight in that game. But I do like UCLA with the points.
Oh, UCLA
you think points tonight?
Yeah, I think points in that game. I have to take another look at this. But Will Rogers, I mean, both teams now fighting for bowl contention, right? You got UCLA with 4 wins. You got Washington at 5-5. Washington playing a little bit better. They got the win. They're a very dominant home team. Beat Michigan, beat USC a couple weeks ago, and they got smashed by Penn State, but that was the whiteout.
To be fair, Joe, you're right, because if Washington doesn't win tonight, they finish with Oregon, right? I mean, Oregon's their last game.
That's going to be a difficult.
They're not going to make a bowl. They got to win tonight if they're going to book a bowl. Yeah. So.
Not only that, but the 5.5 early preseason win total on Washington. It looks so good.
Never forget about that either.
I'm just saying the promising 5.5 win total. I didn't think they would get over 5 wins. So you might get me in on the UCLA. I do feel that they open it up because they have the better quarterback, but we'll see.
And this is a party over, 46.5, Houston and Arizona. That's a 10:15 East kick on FS1. You got the same number as me, 46.5. Where
I'm
are you seeing?
I'm looking 40. Let me just see, 46.5. Juice to the over, minus 115. Houston plus 104 is not a bad look. Houston plus 104 is not a bad look either. I like what
I
Willie
don't care
Fritz
about that. I'm not getting involved in the game. Arizona's been spotty all year. Houston's been good at home. They've had some big upsets, but on the road they haven't been the same. I think let's keep this simple. Over to 46.5. Don't mess around.
So now, was Rogers banged up? Let me just double check. Is he a game time? Let me just see this for a second. I need to see this because that game against Penn State wasn't. They're talking about maybe Damon Williams starting. I guess they don't know exactly. Damon Williams Jr., the backup. But because he got smashed in Penn State last week. So you know how it goes now with these. I'm just saying, here we go again. Like Washington lost everybody. You have a brand new coach. You have brand new talent, and the expectation level is through the roof. Just be happy you can get to a bowl game. The expectation of the fan base needs to be tempered in year number 1. I mean, realistically, this team is not the same. You got all moving parts. Be happy you can get to 6 wins. That would be a huge accomplishment in year 1 with Jed Fish. Huge accomplishment.
It would be a huge accomplishment.
But they don't look at it like that. Yeah, but they don't look at it like that. Fan base believes, we made it to the national championship game. We're just plug and play. They think they're a blue blood all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's just not the case. They're not a blue blood.
No kidding.
So
not kidding. No kidding. What do you want to do? Let me ask you a question, because I'm trying to get prop bets up. See what we have here. You want to take? You see, the problem is, you know what, Carver? I'm not going to overthink this. I like the over in UCLA. I do. You want to alter it into the 50s?
I'm only in on the over in Houston and Arizona. I'm not getting involved anywhere else tonight. You came on, you sold me this bill of goods, party over, let's go. Houston, Arizona.
I did not. I just said it's a sexy game. I just said it's a sexy game. I didn't say that was my best bet of the night. I like the over in UCLA better than I like Q. All right, that's it. Judge spoke. This is it. Cuts me off mid-sentence.
Bang the gavel. Boom.
Bang the gavel.
Bang the gavel.
And congrats for you. Back to calling a little hockey on the weekends. I saw that. Congrats. Hey.
I'm not calling any hockey. I'm not
cheers
calling
to
any
you,
hockey.
guy.
I'm not calling any hockey. What are you talking about? What do you mean? I'm stopping at a show.
You're not you and like Phil Esposito
I'm doing a 25-minute spot at a show.
Cheers to you.
I mean, what?
You said like rekindling.
Cheers to me. I mean,
you
it's
said
just
like rekindling like old relationships. So that's fantastic.
You don't understand. I used to be
I do
very
understand.
Involved in that scene.
But that's what I'm saying. Congrats, guy.
There's nothing to congratulate me about. It's a 20-minute spot at a show. I mean,
you're going back to the homeland. You're going back to the roots. It's like Rocky when he lost to Clubber Lang. What did he have to do? He didn't go to the MGM. He went back to the ugly gym with the blood, sweat, and tears. Same thing with you. You're going back to the roots with the hockey. No?
All right. Yeah, I guess. I don't think it's that I don't think it's that crazy, but sure.
Remember the song? Take You Back.
That's all right.
Ba-dun-dun-dun, take you back. Right? Matthias, take you back. Ba-dun-dun-dun, take you back. And this is a prelude. This is good that we're talking Rocky, because I do want to talk just a smither of this Jake Paul Tyson fight. I just want to throw it out there right now.
No, we're gonna get some stuff
because there are certain rules. There's certain rules.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're first of all, they're fighting 14-ounce gloves. 2-minute rounds and 14-ounce gloves. You shouldn't even be allowed to bet on this fight, to be quite honest with you. The fight, and a lot of states you can't. A lot of states you can't. You can't bet on it in New York. Can't bet it on several others.
Do I have it? Do I have
Jersey
it?
has it. Yes, Jersey has everything. Jersey never.
Yeah, Jersey
never shuts
down. And this goes back not to ruffle the guys on the West Coast because they were the front man, but. The West Coast guys think that we started the lines, we started everything. Yeah, West Coast guys, right. It was all started by the East Coast, Northeast, baby, started everything. Keep that in mind, Tri-State, Jersey, New York, strong.
Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, we're back after this.
Garden hose. And SportsGrid has you covered with strategies and info on football, baseball, and everything else. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. SportsGrid TV and radio networks are the premier streaming video and audio channels dedicated to serving the sports wagering audience. Found on major smart TV platforms and streaming on SportsGrid Radio and SiriusXM Channel 159. SportsGrid's real-time data, expert commentary, and entertaining analysis transform viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Our weekday radio lineup begins with the early line at 8 a.m. Eastern with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Donnie joins Kevin Walsh on Money Line at 11 a.m. Eastern, followed by Football Full Circle at noon Eastern. Kaplan and crew join the party at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Pharrell Coast to Coast keeps things rolling from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Get in the mix with Kevin Walsh and Game Time Decisions at 6 p.m. Eastern. Evenings simmer with Carver and Lisi, then boils over with Gabe Moritzi on Sports Rage Late Night at 10 p.m. Eastern. To find out where to find SportsGrid that's best for you, go to sportsgrid.com. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Carver and Lisi.
The Bills, when they have lost the Chiefs the last few years, sure as hell isn't because of Josh Allen. His performance in the 13-second game, probably the greatest playoff performance by a losing quarterback potentially ever. So you could go chew on all that. Allen hasn't beaten the Chiefs in January because his defense has let him down, his coach is an idiot, and his kicker let him down.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, on the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
A long pass up to Baylor. Baylor goes in, has it.
1960, Elgin Baylor of the LA Lakers scores 71 points versus the New York Knicks.
His first year with the Lakers as a rookie, he led a team in scoring, rebounding, and assists.
Baylor averaged 27.4 points and 13.5 rebounds during his 14-year career with the Lakers. For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
Right before your very eyes, the boys of summer are about to become the champions of fall. MLB playoffs are coming, and SportsGrid will bring you all the angles, strategies, and info. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Yeah. And we're back. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, SiriusXM 159, here with you. I just got a lot of stuff going on, Joe. A lot of stuff happening.
Coming across your desk? Stuff coming across your desk?
A lot of stuff coming across the desk. Trying to. And I'm trying to do other things, too. Like, I try to, at least for us, I know we're not on much anymore. together. But like I try to grow the brand. I'm trying to get.
Oh, let me hang on.
Trying to get some things out there.
Is that a dig at me that I'm not trying to grow the brand with us?
Nah, you got I don't fault you for it. You have so many other things that are up. You got a lot. You got the college football today, pro football today, the syndicate shows Monday and Thursday, the Bowden show, podcast. You got a lot of things that are and me and Matthias, we slide in for a couple hours a week, and we just make sure that we try to do the best that we can during the time that we have you. That's all that that's it.
Is that what it is?
Very busy. You're very busy.
I'm a busy guy.
You're very busy. You're very busy.
And so now you're saying you think I'm above you. That's what you're saying.
You got a lot going on. You got a lot happening. You just, there's a lot of things on the table. Just a lot.
So let me get this straight. I just want to put it in layman's terms. So basically, I'm like Wahlberg in Rockstar when he forgot his group. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's you want to make it's a fair comparison. It's fair.
So now I'm hanging out with what is it, Steel Dragon, and now all of a sudden my friends are back home in the garage.
The syndicate plays. You and your other guys.
Right.
It's just.
So you really don't like that.
Right.
So now it comes out. You really don't like when I win because then you feel like I'm getting more glitz and glamour. So you and Matthias are ultimately rooting against me, even though I love this show.
I'm not rooting against you. I'm not rooting against you. I would never.
And
root against
that
you,
once
Joe.
the off season comes, once the off season, I'm back with you, baby. I'm back with you.
Yeah, I know. You'll be back.
I give you a big kiss.
You'll be ready to go on a nightly basis, I guess. So we'll have a lot going on. This Wembanyama, Joe. I mean, he's hitting. This Wembanyama's hitting threes from all over the place.
So good, isn't he? So good.
I had him that 50 burger the other night. I had him for 40 plus. So it was a nice hit for me with Wembanyama.
What did he do? He had 29 in the first quarter.
Somebody
said he had 29 in the first.
He had 50 on Wednesday night when me and Matthias were doing the show. He had a 50 spot. So that was good to see.
But Giannis had a king of the court. Giannis 68 that night, huh?
He got me on the king of the court. He got me on the king of the court.
With this king of the court.
Giannis had 80. He got crushed in the king of the court with Giannis.
He came second place.
Can we stop? No, not talking college football. No good. Move along. So we'll get to it. We'll get there.
Because now I feel like the outsider of my own show. It's you. Hey, Matthias, look, Joe's back. I mean, that's the way I feel.
What do you want me to do, Joe? I mean, it's just me and him every night now. I mean, that's what it is. What am I supposed to do?
They even gave Kurtz a name tag. Kurtz even got a name tag.
Dude, does he? Yeah, they got George. George is on the bottom of the screen now, too. They got George down there on the.
Got him a name tag.
Wow, LeBron for a deep three. LeBron shooting threes.
They got George Kurtz a name tag. What do you want me to do? You want me to be in the syndicate show 8 to midnight and be with you? How am I going to do that? I'm not Houdini. You want me to be like David Blaine?
I don't fault you for what you got going on. You got a lot happening.
Championship teams, Joe. Championship teams make sacrifices, Joe.
Now you got Shane in Arkansas saying Joe just got too big time for the little guys. Now you're making it sound like I'm not for the.
I mean, look. I mean, it's the people understand. I mean,
not
they
right
what's
by
going
you.
on.
That's not
blue
right
collar. Blue collar.
I mean,
that's
you used to be a champion of the blue collar guys. I mean, you used to be the blue collar guy for the blue collar people, and now you're jet setting here, you're jet setting there. Syndicate plays with Donnie on Mondays and Thursdays. The crew on Saturday and Sunday mornings. It's all right. It's okay. Not a big deal.
You went from Rusty to Nick Papagiorgio. You went from Rusty to Nick Papagiorgio.
Rusty to Nick Papagiorgio.
Am I getting a massage in the MGM? Am I getting laying down on the table?
We'll do the picks when we come back. We'll get through them, and then we'll go through all the other games that neither of us picked. We got to get all these college games in. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. We're back after.
Fall is here.
It's getting cooler.
Football and the World Series are coming in. Life is good.
SportsGrid makes it better.
Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you.
800-365-6303. 800-365-6303. 800-365-6303. That's 800-365-6303.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
Maybe you've heard of the infinite monkey theory. A monkey randomly typing on a typewriter for an infinite amount of time could eventually type out the complete works of Shakespeare.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it.
A University of Technology in Sydney decided to test this theory. What would happen if a reasonable population of 200,000 monkeys, all typing one letter per second until the end of time? The universe, a cold, dead cinder. The number 10 with 99 zeros, years. The answer? There's only a 5% chance that a single monkey would even type the word bananas.
So what you're saying is, it's not to be.
Follow me at Capalbo on X, and stay tuned to the Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
Fall is almost here. It's time to stow the lawnmower and get ready for all that glorious action coming your way. Stay tuned to SportsGrid for all the strategies, angles, and info you need to get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio. Sirius XM 159 here with you on a Friday night on the grid. Mike Carver and, of course, the Encyclopedia of College Football. Go for the two. Me and Matthias are on Harden to get 5 threes tonight. Because what's the dopey record that he's going to break? What does he get if he gets 5 threes?
He passes Ray Allen for all-time threes. Right-hand 7 career. I think he goes to the 2 spot.
Really? He's that high on the 3 list? You know, pass Ray Allen for second on 3? I guess so. He's always been a chucker, right, Joe? Harden's always been a chucker. So he's got a chance to do that where he used to play tonight in Houston if he hits 5. So now he's hit 2, so we need 3 more from him to get some things going. All right, Joe, it is time, as always on Friday nights, for the Carver and Lisi college football selections. Both of us 4-3 last week. Both of us 4-3 the last 2 weeks, actually. So that leaves us right now. I am 43-38, so 5 games over, and you are 41-40, 1 game over. As we sit going into Week 12, squarely down the stretch of the college football season. Joe has promised you guys a lot of things. If you're the people out there, Joe has promised a lot of dogs barking this week. He's promised some crypto, smash your bookie over the head with a lead pipe plays. He's got all these things going on. Let's do it, Joe. The Week 12 college football picks for you.
All right, let's start a little bit of a rivalry game. This game typically takes place on Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving, and I'm talking about prime time. I'm talking Shedeur Sanders. I'm talking Travis Hunter. This team is playing lights out. They go into Lubbock, and they smash. I'm talking smash Joey Maguire and Taj Brooks. The human turnover machine, Baron Morton. Every time you touch him, there's an interception, a fumble. I don't know. He's a pick 6 waiting to happen. Scoop and score. He allowed Colorado to cover that line. But guess what? It's all good because Colorado has everything in front of them, Carver. They got Fox, big noon kickoff coming to town, and they're laying. It opened up at 11.5, and I see 12.5, 13. Hey, why don't we make it 14 by game time? Guess who's coming to town? The Chin. After the Holy War, they had their arch rival, BYU, on the ropes. They lose it 22-21. Kyle Whittingham has no idea what he's doing, right? But as a dog, I love the Utah Utes in this spot. I don't know if they win it, but they can run it. They could shorten the game. I don't care who is playing quarterback. Isaac Wilson, third stringer, fourth stringer. All I know is the physicality on the offensive and defensive lines. Utah will make this a game. Now, I know they give up big plays over the top at times with the passing attack, but I'm willing to take the 13. Pick number 1 with Utah. Pick number 2. This team has been absolutely fantastic to me this year. Only one time I got burned, and that was the game against Ole Miss. I'm going back to Shoo Piggy. Yeah, because I really love Sam Pittman in this spot. Everybody's getting fat on Texas. I had Texas. Not you, not him, me, minus the 21.5 against Florida. They absolutely smashed the Gators. They ran it. They threw it. Guess what? Arkansas is going to be ready for this game. 5 wins on the regular season. They're fighting for bowl contention. Go back to the days of Queen Grovey and the kid Barry Foster and a little Billy Ray Smith in your life back in the day for the Hogs. Southwest Conference, baby. That travels well. Give me the 12.5 points with Sam Pittman. Taylon Green, Jaquindon Jackson might be back. It don't matter. Give me the backups. Give me Arkansas plus the 12.5. Pick number 2. Wouldn't be shocked if they strike the upset. Pick number 3. This team opened up at 2. It's up to 3. How about Michigan State plus the 3 on the road against Illinois? I like what Jonathan Smith has done. Again, another team fighting for bowl contention on the road. A very winnable game against Brett Bielema and this team with Luke Altmaier. They're good. They're not elite. I don't care that they play well in Champaign. Sparty got this victory a couple of years ago. I think they can shorten the game. I think this is a 4-quarter game, just the way Minnesota went into Champaign to win it. I think Michigan State, Nate Carter and the crew can get the outright win. Pick number 3, Sparty, plus the points. Catalytic converter, pick number 4. It's a big dog, Carver. It opened up at 15.5. They ran it up to 18.5 because Thomas Castellanos is no longer with Boston College. But guess what? SMU got the victory, a major win in terms of the conference a couple weeks ago under undefeated Pitt. They got everything in front of them. But guess what happened? A bye week. What do we talk about bye weeks, Carver? They can be beneficial or detrimental to a team. Ask Clemson after they got smashed against Louisville. I like Boston College. They're averaging 179 yards on the ground. They're only giving up $129 to opposing offenses, holding opposing offenses to 36%. Catalytic converter. Bill O'Brien will coach this game into the 4th quarter. I don't know if they win it, but plus the 18.5 with a backup quarterback. Give me them Eagles. Catalytic converter. Crypto. Play number 1. Boston College plus the points. Catalytic converter. Pick number 2. This team got absolutely smashed at home in primetime. Jalen Milroe still running. 12 carries, $185, and 4 touchdowns. I swore that I would never bet on LSU again. Brian Kelly is dead to me. There's only one more gutless team on the horizon that LSU can beat, and that is Florida. They went in last year, Jaden Daniels with 600 total yards. I know Lagway might play. I really don't care. This defense is going to travel well. Nussmeier and that offense might put up 48 points alone to get the total. I love the total over 55.5, Carver. LSU and Florida. That's pick number, catalytic converter. Pick number 5 on your docket. I'm taking the over 55.5, LSU and Florida. This one's tricky, but I'm closing my eyes and I'm taking the 13.5 in Camp Randall with the Wisconsin Badgers. Luke Fickell needs to win this game. He hasn't had a big win since he took over the program in Madison. This line should be basically 20. It's only 13.5, primetime spot. They didn't step up against Penn State. Now you get Dylan Gabriel and the Oregon Ducks coming in. Quack, quack, quack. Badgers, baby. Let me tell you something. I'm eating cheese on Saturday night. Wisconsin plus the 13.5 keeps it close. against Oregon. Catalytic converter, pick number 3. And then Jake Scattaboo. Scattaboo, you say it. Scattaboo? Scattaboo? Scattaboo. Arizona State, plus the 9 over Kansas State. Both teams are 7-2. I think Arizona State can run it. I'm not sold on Chris Kleiman and that team as a whole. I think you can run on that Kansas State team. They have crumbled against more physical teams, most notably BYU. Arizona State goes into Manhattan and pulls out the upset. Utah plus the 13. Arkansas plus the 12. Michigan State plus the 3. Boston College, catalytic play, plus the 18.5. LSU, Florida, over the 55.5. Wisconsin, catalytic play, plus the 13.5. And Arizona State plus the 7. Picks for Lisi, week number 12.
Really quick, Joe, make sure you still want these. First of all, Michigan State listed right now on FanDuel at 2.5. Do you still want it?
I'll
2.5 for
yes.
Michigan State.
Yep, 2.5. Got it.
BC is listed at 17.5. 17.5 for BC.
Give it to me.
And the other one was Arizona State is 7.5 right now on FanDuel.
Perfect.
So you
still
you said
go with
9.
the LSU
That's a point and a half swing.
I looked quick.
LSU still 55.5. That's still 55.5. So you got no problems there. I could absolutely see that over with you, Joe. The LSU Florida game. I think that game you could get a lot of points, and yes, I think LSU will probably score the lion's share of them. There's no question about that. I kind of like Arizona State also, Joe. I think that they're going to give maybe we get an outright there, like you said. Can we get an outright from Arizona State in the Little Apple
maybe.
In Manhattan? Maybe. We'll come back with mine. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. We're back after this.
Yeah, it's getting cooler. Football weather is here. Stay tuned for all the latest odds, strategies, and info. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
A long pass up to Baylor. Baylor goes in, has it.
1960, Elgin Baylor of the LA Lakers scores 71 points versus the New York Knicks.
His first year with the Lakers as a rookie, he led a team in scoring, rebounding, and assists.
Baylor averaged 27.4 points and 13.5 rebounds during his 14-year career with the Lakers. For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
SportsGrid TV and radio networks are the premier streaming video and audio channels dedicated to serving the sports wagering audience. Found on major smart TV platforms and streaming on SportsGrid Radio and Sirius XM Channel 159. SportsGrid's real-time data, expert commentary, and entertaining analysis transform viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Our weekday radio lineup begins with the early line at 8 a.m. Eastern with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Donnie joins Kevin Walsh on Moneyline at 11 a.m. Eastern, followed by Football Full Circle at noon Eastern. Kaplan and crew join the party at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Pharrell Coast to Coast keeps things rolling from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Get in the mix with Kevin Walsh and Game Time Decisions at 6 p.m. Eastern. Evenings simmer with Carver and Lisi, then boils over with Gabe Moritzi on Sports Rage Late Night at 10 p.m. Eastern. To find out where to find SportsGrid that's best for you, go to sportsgrid.com. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. No way football is played in the fall and winter because the hits don't hurt as much when you're numb. Get the lowdown on all the sports action coming up right here. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Yeah, and we're back. Carver and Lisi with you. SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 159. Great to have you with us here on a Friday night on the grid. All right, Joe, my side now with the college football picks, and then we'll try to rock through as many games as we can that we either haven't mentioned or we're on the other side of. Let me start here, Joe, by saying I was going to go, and this is not one of my picks, but I'll say this off of yours. I was going to go with Utah as well as a checker on a checker, but I do have a couple of games that I like, so I'm going to take it out, especially with how close we are in the standings. But I do think Utah, you're right, especially with it climbing up to 12.5 now. That's a good spot for them. You know they got to be upset after what happened last week. And, man, me and you didn't talk about this, but about that AD after the game. I mean, you don't see that very often. That clown going and doing the 45-second press conference, destroying the Big 12. But either way, I'm with you on Utah. All right, here we go. Pick number 1 for me. I got a couple dogs in here too, Joe. And let's start with them. Schiano has let me down the last couple of weeks. There's no doubt about that. Really not let me down. I haven't been backing him. But you've seen Rutgers kind of let go of the rope a little bit here over the last few weeks after a nice start to the season. Now they're going on the road to College Park. They're going to see Maryland tomorrow, late afternoon kick. Actually, they get night kick, 6 o'clock East kick in College Park. 5.5 for Schiano and the Scarlet Knights, Joe. Now, this is what really should be the rivalry in the Big Ten. And, Maryland wants it to be with Penn State. Rutgers wants it to be with Penn State. But really, in reality, Joe, these are the two teams that should have the hatred for each other as they both came in at the same time. I think that Schiano is going to have Rutgers ready to go here in this one. I think Maryland is not very good. They covered last week on the road with the long trip out to Eugene. But I'm going to take Rutgers here, Joe, with pick number 1, plus the 5.5 in College Park against the Terps. Maybe even an outright. Could be a blue-collar game, Joe. 13-10, 17-14. Not a lot of scoring. But I think that Schiano gets us a cover in that one. Next, Tulane and Navy in the American this week. And Navy's getting points at home here. It's just over a touchdown. I believe 7.5 at this moment. But here's the one thing that I know about these two teams, Joe. They like to score, man. I mean, you go and look this year so far. These two squads, and I had the numbers down in my notes, Joe. Here it is. Tulane so far this year has gone over to Rainbow 7 of their 9 games. Navy 7 of 9, Tulane 6 of 10. Both of these teams play to the over. I think it's light. 50.5 here for Tulane and Navy. Up, and away. Pick number 2, the over in that American contest between the two of them. Next, let's go to Ohio State and Northwestern, Joe. They're playing at Wrigley Field tomorrow. That's the big noon kickoff. Everybody's upset because Ohio State kicks off at noon every single week now. Well, you're going to have to deal with it. 43.5 is our total here. Joe, the Ohio State team totals 35.5. Their team totals 35.5, and the total for the game is 43.5. I think that Ohio State can clean this by themselves. I know. Are they really looking ahead to Indiana next week? I'm not so sure about that. I think that this is Thump City here for Day. They haven't flexed a lot of muscle offensively this year, and I know Northwestern could be a little spunky defensively. Maybe they even chip in 10 or 13 points. They might cover that 28.5, but I think we go over, Joe. 43.5, Ohio State and Northwestern in the friendly confines. Next, I got some real oddball ones for you this week, Joe. Hawaii making the trip to the mainland, going to Logan to see Utah State in the Mountain West tomorrow. Short favorite on the road. Here's what I know, Joe. Utah State, they suck. That's a bad football team. You watch them week in, week out. They are awful. Hawaii's been pretty good. I know they're not as good when they come over to the mainland. They've been a lot better on their own spot. But they're a 2.5-point short favorite on the road at Utah State. I'm taking it, Joe. Hawaii minus the 2.5 at Utah State. Next, here's where I'm going after you, Joe. I can't believe you are going to back this gutless Boston College team heading down to Dallas to see SMU this week. And how about Castellanos, another quitter, just like Moss, taking the ball and going home after he gets pulled out. This BC team, Joe, is dead. Finished. Done.
Dead?
They have nothing left in the tank. SMU minus the 17.5. Smash job as they stay undefeated in ACC play. They will have no problem here with Boston College. The hack that they're going to put in at quarterback. Joe's giving you all these stats about running the football. They're going to rush it. SMU is going to stick them, Joe. BC might not even crack 10 points in this game. They're going to have all kinds of problems down there at their place. I'll take SMU minus the 17.5. Next. I can't believe Joe stayed away from Georgia. We'll have to talk about Georgia, Tennessee after the break because I do want to get Joe's thoughts on it. But I think this is a bad spot for Heupel, Nico, and the Vols. I think Georgia's upset that they're not in that the dopey crack crab and lobster committee rankings this week and they're the first team out when they've got better wins than most of the teams that are in there. I understand they lost Ole Miss this last week. That's the way the cookie crumbles. You got people asking Kirby about benching Carson Beck. All that. They are going to come out and take care of business between the hedges, under the lights, at home. Vols offense hasn't been good the last month either. They haven't been scoring a lot of points. Might be an under game, but minus 9.5 now here for Georgia. I'm in, Joe. Smash job. Georgia, minus the 9.5 at home against Tennessee. And I'll go dog for you, Joe, to finish it out, my last pick. And I'm kind of surprised. I thought you were going to take this game. I thought this would be one of your dogs. This is a revamped Nebraska offense here. Raiola's back under center. We got Dana Holgerson in the room with them now, controlling the offense, throwing his expertise into the mix for Matt Rule and the crew. You're going to USC. That team is dead. They're changing quarterbacks. Moss took the ball and went home. I don't care that they're off the bye. Nebraska, Joe, plus the 7.5 out at USC. And what are they going to do, Joe? Go ahead, say it. Nebraska's going to win that game outright over USC.
Are they?
Outright for Nebraska against USC in this game on Saturday. Georgia minus 9.5. Nebraska plus the 7.5. Hawaii minus 2.5. SMU minus 17.5. Over in the Ohio State game. Over in the Navy game. And Rutgers plus the 5.5. The Week 12 Carver and Lisi college football picks.
The boys of summer become the champions of fall. The World Series is on its way. And SportsGrid brings you every angle. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. Carver and Lisi.
The Bills, when they have lost the Chiefs the last few years, sure as hell isn't because of Josh Allen. His performance in the 13-second game, probably the greatest playoff performance by a losing quarterback eventually ever. So you could go chew on all that. Allen hasn't beaten the Chiefs in January because his defense has let him down, his coach is an idiot, and his kicker let him down.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. On the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steel Man Pills. 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851. That's 800-823-3851.
The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Get sports gaming strategies and information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everything you need to get the winning edge. Right here. All the time. No wonder the wife says you never listen to her. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Here we're back. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. Great to have you with us here on the grid. All right, Joe, let's roll through a lot of these. So you said, oh, really, with the outright. You don't like Nebraska here in this spot? I'm very surprised if they let you down so much that you couldn't go back to them.
No, because every time they're in this spot trying to get 6 wins, I'd rather bet them after they have 6 wins. I mean, and gutless USC, I can't back either. So, I mean, an 8.5, 9-point number, I mean, is very high, but it wouldn't shock me if Nebraska's losing by 3 and USC scores a late touchdown in the end just because Nebraska can't get over the hump. They have a psychological problem trying to get to 6 wins over the last 2 years. I mean, that is the concern. Once they break that barrier, then I'd be happy. I mean, it's the 4 o'clock kick. They're getting 7.5, basically over a touchdown. They can run it on them, but I mean, USC going with the backup. That's the other thing. What do you get out of this guy? Mayava? How do you say his name?
Mayava. Yep. So I'm surprised, Joe. So, all right, you're out on Rule in Nebraska. You're not in the mix anymore with them. I need your thoughts on this Georgia-Tennessee game. I went Smash City with the Bulldogs. Sounds like you're not involved. You're not in the mix here.
No, because, I mean, here's the thing. Nico's banged up. He got banged up. They're supposing he's playing. He's not playing. They have props. They don't have props. Georgia's won 7 straight in the series. Their last 4 by an average margin of victory of 22.4 points per game. They won last year 38-10. I mean, they're going to go into Athens with Nico, even if Nico's healthy. Are we sure that Nico is going to go into Athens when the defense got abused last week by Jackson Dart and the Ole Miss offense? I know Dart didn't light him up for 400, but he threw for $199. They won the ball game by double digits. Put it this way, if Hendon Hooker couldn't go into Athens a couple of years ago as efficient of a passer as he was with Jalen Hyatt, do you have confidence in Nico to do that?
No confidence.
But I can't bet it though. That's the problem. I can't bet it.
I can.
You know what? Sometimes you wear sometimes you wear your emotion on your sleeve. You know me, I don't wear any
Georgia.
emotion.
27-10 Georgia.
Okay. All right.
It's an under, too.
Look, you're calling your shot. What are you, the natural?
Under.
You're calling your shot. Robert Redford? Robert Redford,
you don't like
calling your shot.
You like the over in the Navy-Tulane game? No over there? You don't like it?
Navy's dead to me. I love Navy and, respect all the kids that play and serve. But that gutless effort by USF last week, catching 3.5 at home,
the Service Academy play. What'd you call that? The Service Academy play. What was
it was one of my dreams. Yeah, that kid Archie for USC absolutely is atrocious. That kid was a deer in the headlights. He did not know where he wanted to go with the football. They had the physical advantage, USF in the interior, offensive, defensive lines. They could have ran it at will with Kelly Joyner in that offense. All they had to do was stick to the run, and they could have gutted out, I guarantee you, an outright victory. But this guy, Gorsef, I don't even know how you say his name. I butcher my name, let alone 4 syllables. Alex Goryeb, I don't know how you say his name. I gotta look at it. It doesn't matter. The coach
You're the
of USF.
encyclopedia.
I know. I can't get them all right. I mean, people butcher my name. It's Lisi, Lizzie, Lisa, and I move on. I don't let it affect me in life. Here's, I'll get it right. What is it?
14-0 UTSA, by the way, as they're rolling against
North
Texas.
But anyway, that was a good effort. I can't go back to the Navy play.
Rutgers plus the 5.5 in College Park. No, he doesn't like it.
I can't bet it. So, but I'm going to get in on this over in UCLA. I like the over coming up. What about the late night game? I sort of like Kansas over BYU.
I'm gonna get to that. I actually thought about taking BYU. You kind of like Kansas. All right, let's do that when we come back because we're gonna break and we're gonna like we usually do, get all the rest of the college games in, and then we'll start the NFL and get the picks going there. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. We're back after that.
Fall is here. It's getting cooler. Football and the World Series are coming in. Life is good. Sports Grid makes it better. Get the winning edge. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network. Sports Rage Tonight.
But Elliott missed from 44 earlier, and I didn't care. I was like, yeah, whatever, good. I'm on Washington because I have the long field goal prop over 47.5. But now this bastard just missed a 51-yarder. Now I do care. And now he's screwing with our total. And I should have already just won my long field goal prop like I always do very early in the game.
It's Sports Rage Tonight with Gabe Morency. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. On the Sports Grid Radio Network.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
Maybe you've heard of the infinite monkey theory. A monkey randomly typing on a typewriter for an infinite amount of time could eventually type out the complete works of Shakespeare.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it.
A University of Technology in Sydney decided to test this theory. What would happen if a reasonable population of 200,000 monkeys, all typing one letter per second until the end of time? The universe, a cold, dead cinder. The number 10 with 99 zeros, years. The answer? There's only a 5% chance that a single monkey would even type the word bananas.
So what you're saying is, it's not to be.
Follow me at Capalbo on X, and stay tuned to the Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
You're listening to where real winners go for actionable insights and expert perspectives on daily sporting events.
7 days a week.
It's not a secret or anything.
I mean, we have a promotion budget for Pete's sake.
This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Please welcome.
It's the opening kickoff with Carver and Lisi.
All right, here we go. Carver and Lisi with you. Sports Grid Radio, Sirius XM, channel 159. Great to have you with us here on the grid. A lot to do this hour. We have all the NFL to pick, the picks and the preview for the NFL. We are going to finish the college here in the first segment because we have a bunch of games we didn't talk about yet. And we will get to this, which is happening a little bit also. This Tyson Jake Paul fight, which is going on tonight. And I know Joe's got some plays for that. That's not starting until after we're done. So we have some time there. Well after, right? Like it's gonna be like what, Joe, 11:30 midnight East around there is probably when those guys are finally gonna go. So right around in that roundabout area. Mike Carver and the encyclopedia of college football, the one, the only. Go for the two, Joe Lisi. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Carver. Excited. I'm excited. College football, NFL. We got the Jake Paul Tyson fight circa 1990. This could be Buster Douglas all over again. 42 to 1 shot.
This is not a legitimate.
But basically, they're boxing with these pillows on their hands.
14-ounce gloves. 8 rounds, 2 minutes a round. I don't know if Tyson will make it do it for 16 minutes at 59 years old. So I think most people are betting Tyson thinking it's knockout or nothing. I believe he's 59, Joe. I'm pretty sure. I think he's 59. Double check that. I thought he was 59. He's going to be 59 soon. Isn't his birthday right around the corner doing push-ups? It's got to be right in that area.
Push-up.
Tyson is 58. June. Okay, so in June he'll be 59. My apologies. Either way, Joe, for boxing, he's old. Okay? Let's just put it that way. For boxing,
Hey,
he's
George
old.
Foreman came out, Carver. Stop knocking the old guys.
Joe, I'm not going to have it from you tonight with this. We'll get some of your plays later on. I got to get this college done, Joe. All right, here we go. Rapid fire. You ready? Tell me if you like anything, what your leans are. Ohio State and Northwestern at the Wrigley with 28.5. You on anything in that game?
Say that? No. I mean, if anything, it would be Ohio State. I can't touch that game. I just can't. That game in Wrigley bothers me anyway.
Yeah, you don't like that the wall's up against the end zone. I know it bothers you.
I just
Clemson's
don't like
laying
that.
11.5 in Pittsburgh against the Panthers. 52.5 total.
I would take the Panthers, but I think they are a team that once they got undefeated, this could be Air Force all over again. Start 7-0, 8-0, and they fall off a cliff. They're 7-2. They could lose their next 5 games.
Seems like that could be the case. I got to tell you, I think Notre Dame wins at home tomorrow against Virginia, but I would not feel comfortable laying 22.5 points in that game.
I originally was going to pick Virginia, but then I thought about it, and I'm like, Virginia lost to 17 to Clemson. Tony Elliott, they have a pretty high-powered offense. The problem is that Calandria and that offense, it's all predicated on the rushing attack, and that goes right into the strength of Notre Dame. They're giving up holding opposing offenses to 48% on completion percentage. I mean, they're playing 29% third down defense. Are we confident in Virginia? That's the problem. I backed off. I originally, in the beginning part of the week, thought all in on Virginia. Line open up at 22, and then I could see this being like a 10-point game. And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, them tacking on 3 touchdowns and they lose by 31. I want no part of this game.
I could see it going over 50.5. I could see that maybe.
Yeah.
That Notre Dame game. Get the over.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me there, right?
Yeah. Penn State's laying almost 30 in Purdue. Purdue's so bad. It's just hard. Purdue's so bad.
I know, but I feel like we could take the shot with 30 points with Purdue.
Here's why maybe not, Joe. Penn State has nobody decent left to play. They need to rub teams out to keep themselves in their lofty, undeserved ranking that they currently have. They need to keep rubbing teams out by big margins. So that would be, and Franklin's an expert at that. He loves being a bully against bad teams.
So then
I could see.
He's like you. He pushes his weight around. That's you. You do. You like to walk around in the bar and push people around just because you're bigger, faster, stronger.
What do you think of Missouri getting 13.5 at South Carolina? South Carolina's been playing some good football the last couple of weeks.
You want to get in front of that with this gutless Missouri team? I don't really. I would lay it, but that's me. Part of me
BYU,
wants to take the points,
but
I can't.
BYU laying 2.5 at home against Kansas. Of course, BYU's still undefeated. This is a classic. We love games like this, Joe. It's like last week with the Holy War. These 10, 10-15, 10-30 East kicks with big implications always have us very interested. And this is a huge game for BYU. And we saw Kansas kick Iowa State in the teeth last week out at Arrowhead. It took Daniels about 1.5 years, but he's actually playing like a potential Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. Only took him 1.5 years to start doing it.
I'm thinking I want to take Kansas, but I'm starting to think the over.
Okay. POINTS, points.
Yeah.
Let it
think
fly.
We can get that 60s?
I think we could get it. 56.5, I think we could get it.
Could we get it
Party
to like
over.
68? You want to go party over in BYU?
You're so greedy. You're so greedy. You want to alt it. Is that your problem? I see what you're doing. You want to alt it. You can't just take the 56.5.
I do want to alt it.
You want to alt it up so that way you can land at 63 and you lose. That's what you just love doing. This.
See, there you go. Always wishing. You see, you don't want to see your partner do well.
Because why can't we just take the 56.5? Why you gotta push it?
Because it's think of it as a system play. You got a risk to make. You got a risk to make. If we were a hedge fund right now,
56.5. I'm in for 56.
We're buying low and we're trying to get it in at a high price. We're not scalping here. We're not buying 56.5 to sell it at 57 and make 2 nickels. Are we? Is that what you want?
I just want to win the bet, Joe. That's it. I just want to win the bet. That's all I want to do. 56.5 is good enough for me.
That could be a bailout for us, Carver. That could be a bailout.
No, I've actually got the better late night bailout blowout. UNLV is going to smash San Diego State. I was really close to adding that, but I didn't want to do double Mountain West games, and I loved Hawaii so much that I couldn't do it. But UNLV is going to smash San Diego State.
You hear him chirping? Do you hear him chirping?
What did
in
he
the
say?
background?
He's got something to say? What was that,
Matthias?
Matthias?
Our producer's chirping.
I gave you a little Hawaiian chee-hoo. That's all. Let's go, baby.
He knows Hawaii's going to take care of business on the road at Utah State. Take care of business.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
Oh, and by the way, don't forget about my guy Mateer laying 10.5 at New Mexico. It does scare me that number's gone down, Joe. That was 12.5 early in the week, down to 10.5. People thinking that Bronco, Mendenhall, and the Lobos are going to give my Cougars a problem. No, Joe. No. We can't have that late night. A lot of good late night games on Saturday night. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. We're back on the grid right after this.
Garden hose. And SportsGrid has you covered with strategies and info on football, baseball, and everything else. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime, on the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Carver and Lisi.
The Bills, when they have lost the Chiefs the last few years, sure as hell isn't because of Josh Allen. His performance in the 13-second game, probably the greatest playoff performance by a losing quarterback potentially ever. So you could go chew on all that. Allen hasn't beaten the Chiefs in January because his defense has let him down, his coach is an idiot, and his kicker let him down.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, on the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Know someone with a drinking or drug problem? Learn how to get sober after we share these stories.
I was 35 with 2 beautiful children when my life and addiction started to spiral out of control. After my divorce, I went into a depression cycle and started drinking more often and using prescription drugs. After my second DWI and arrest, my ex-husband threatened to take our children away from me.
I was 17 when I became addicted to heroin and meth. I thought I could quit on my own, but I couldn't. It hit me when I was arrested.
Get sober now. Your private insurance may cover costs and we'll get you here. It's simple. Just call Elite Rehab Placement right now. Please don't wait. Your life matters to us.
800-959-6348. 800-959-6348. 800-959-6348. Call right now before it's too late. That's 800-959-6348.
Days are getting cooler. The shadows are getting longer. You know what that means? It's football weather. So bundle up and keep it here for all the latest strategies and gridiron information. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
And we're back. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM, channel 159 on a Friday. On the grid, Purdue beat Alabama in college basketball tonight, so that was a nice win for Purdue at home. Alabama, of course, one of the best teams in the country. Nice win for them to get their season rolling, that's for sure. All right, Joe, a few NFL things. Obviously, this is, I think this is the best, in terms of huge games, I think the best week that we've had so far in the NFL. Now, you already had one on Thursday night, which was the two big NFC East teams playing, and the game kind of sucked, to be honest with you.
Right.
I know it ended up being good for you at the end. And I did pretty good, too. I had that Eckler receiving yards, Joe, laddered a few ways, 50, 60. So that worked out well for me.
You're eating fat.
Yes,
You're eating fat.
It wasn't eating fat. I mean, it was just a couple wins. I mean, that's okay. But that win, I think, Joe, obviously is going to push Philly. They're 2 up in the loss, and they've beaten Washington now. So they're in real driver's seat territory in that NFC East as we start to come down the stretch here. And they've been playing some really good football. Although the offense was obviously spotty in the first half last night, but still, they're playing good football. So that was one huge match. And then on Sunday, Steelers-Ravens at 1 and Bills-Chiefs at 4:25. That's as good, Joe, as a November Sunday doubleheader as you can get in the NFL this early on. Those are two monster games that we're going to have on Sunday.
Oh, I mean, you can't get bigger than what we have. I mean, this is it. This is separation Sunday in terms of the NFL. I mean, when you look at it right now, I mean, I even throw the Bear game in there. You don't like the Bear and Packer game as being one of the better games this weekend?
I'll tell you two things about it. Here's my problem with adding that game in. Number one, the Bears suck. Let's just put that in. They've been drowning the past couple of weeks, and I think you're going to see that. I don't think you're going to see much out of them. And number two, the Packers have beaten the Bears the last 10 times they've played. LaFleur's 10-0 against the Bears. Yeah. This is a non-competitive rivalry, and it's also a rivalry that, honestly, in my opinion, I'm sick of. I'm sick of the Packers and the Bears.
Ask you this. Okay, so if this game goes the way we think, and it's going to be Green Bay, this could be Eberflus's swan song. Or do you think they give him?
If they didn't fire him last week after losing to New England, when are they going to fire him? Like, they haven't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks. Like, they haven't scored a touchdown in the last 2
now with the veterans coming out and saying they want Tyson Bagent.
There's been some pushback to that story, Joe. There's been some pushback that it's some people in the Bagent camp that put that into the wild. There's been some static with that story.
Bagent has that much pull in the organization?
No, but with the media, like some of his family members, etc., were some of the ones that were kind of leaking that stuff through. Here's what I do know, Joe. Whether it's here nor there, that place is a complete and total train wreck right now, what they have going on in that building.
Which is why it's one of the intriguing games for this weekend. But going back to the two big ones, your Buffalo Bills have an opportunity to erase everything that happened last year.
No,
27-24. This is it. This is an opportunity.
This doesn't erase any.
You always beat up on Pat Mahomes in the regular season. You could feel good.
It's the regular season again. It's the regular season again.
If they get up, do they try and smash them? Is the question.
Yeah, but
because
Joe,
I like
I love the over. I love the over. I think the over is a home run play for the Bills and the Chiefs. Now, they've been booked in the past, Joe, if my memory serves me right, between like 49 and 52 in most of these games. It's usually a very high number, and it's gone under. Obviously, it got over last year in the playoff game. The last couple regular season games have been unders when they have played. I think that they've made this number too low, Joe. I think 46.5 is too low. I think that they're going to get over that number. But you said something that's just not... I'm going to push back on you with it. You do not wash away anything in the past with the Chiefs until you beat them in January. You just don't. That is the only way. Allen said it himself this week, and he rarely tells you anything. We haven't beaten them in the playoffs. I don't care. Listen, is this game huge this week? Yes, Joe. It's huge because it can set you up to potentially once again have them come to your building. Now, that didn't matter last year. They still lost in Buffalo. But I'd rather, if I got to see them again, Joe, later in the year, I'd rather it be there than at their place. And the only path you have to making that happen is if you win this game. Because if they lose, Joe, and they're 8-3, and the Chiefs are 10-0, the Chiefs are going to run away and hide with the 1 seed. I mean, it's just a run away and hide. This is the only chance you got of potentially someone else having the 1 seed over the Kansas City Chiefs is if the Bills beat them this Sunday.
Yeah, it's a good point. You're absolutely right. I mean, and this is an opportunity to open up the door a little bit and maybe show some weakness for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think for just a confidence level of Buffalo, and I think of Josh Allen and McDermott, if you could smash them again in your house, you did it all for how many years? 3 straight in Arrowhead?
Well, they haven't beat them in Buffalo.
Well, but
the Mahomes Allen,
right.
They've only played twice there. Right.
He beat them 38-21 year, 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
That was all at Arrowhead. All at Arrowhead.
That's what I said. That's why I'm saying at home, it'll give this team some confidence. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Look, well, Kansas City has obviously been living on the edge the past few weeks with some of these
They're like
wins.
the Eagles were last year.
So, well, I hope it ends that way. The way it ended for the Eagles last year. I hope it ends the same way.
And they were
which
like,
I don't think it will.
They were like Minnesota a couple of years ago when they were 13-3.
Yeah, probably. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 159. We're back after this.
Don't look like an idiot at work. Know your stuff. Football and everything else. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
A long pass up to Baylor. Baylor goes in, has it.
1960, Elgin Baylor of the LA Lakers scores 71 points versus the New York Knicks.
His first year with the Lakers as a rookie, he led a team in scoring, rebounding, and assists.
Baylor averaged 27.4 points and 13.5 rebounds during his 14-year career with the Lakers. For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
Sports Rage tonight.
But Elliott missed from 44 earlier, and I didn't care. I was like, yeah, whatever, good. I'm on Washington because I have the long field goal prop over 47.5. But now this bastard just missed a 51-yarder. Now I do care. And now he's screwing with our total. And I should have already just won my long field goal prop like I always do very early in the game.
It's Sports Rage tonight with Gabe Morency. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. On the SportsGrid Radio Network. SportsGrid TV and radio networks are the premier streaming video and audio channels dedicated to serving the sports wagering audience. Found on major smart TV platforms and streaming on SportsGrid Radio and Sirius XM Channel 159. SportsGrid's real-time data, expert commentary, and entertaining analysis transform viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Our weekday radio lineup begins with the early line at 8 a.m. Eastern with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Donnie joins Kevin Walsh on Money Line at 11 a.m. Eastern, followed by Football Full Circle at noon Eastern. Kaplan and crew join the party at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Pharrell Coast to Coast keeps things rolling from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Get in the mix with Kevin Walsh and Game Time Decisions at 6 p.m. Eastern. Evenings simmer with Carver and Lisi, then boils over with Gabe Morency on Sports Rage Late Night at 10 p.m. Eastern. To find out where to find SportsGrid that's best for you, go to sportsgrid.com. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Days are getting cooler and shadows are getting longer. You know what that means? It's football weather. So bundle up and keep it here for all the latest strategies and gridiron information. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
And we're back. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. Great to have you with us. You know, that other game, Joe, the early one in Pittsburgh, between the Ravens and the Steelers, you've obviously been very outspoken about Russell Wilson. You obviously aren't happy that he's come in and this team has played better than they did when Fields was in, specifically offensively.
Okay.
Have they played better? I think they're scoring a lot more points, I think. Now, some would say, Joe, that may be true, but their opposition, they played the Jets and the Giants, and then they played Washington last week. It was a good team, but still. Russ has played well, whether you want to give him a couple bouquets or not. He has. But this is a whole nother animal here. This is the Ravens and the Steelers. And what sticks out to me, Joe, is this when I look at this game. First of all, we know Tomlin as a dog is. You always hear all that. He gets beaten to the ground every time. The record's phenomenal. I didn't realize that the Steelers had won 7 of the last 8 against the Ravens, which is pretty. While Lamar only played in half of those games, he's 1-3 against the Steelers during that span.
Last year, Mason Rudolph won in the last regular season game. It was a wet track, and they started Huntley in that game.
Okay, well, you're right. So I think those are some things you obviously have to take into consideration. Now, here's the one thing that sticks out. The Ravens have gone over in 9 of their 10 games this year. Ravens can't stop anybody. Ravens score lots of points. This total's 48.5, Joe.
Under.
I looked at this. Listen to these. Listen to the last. This is like the last 10 times they've played. 17-10, 17-10, 16-13, 16-14, 16-13, 2019, 19-14. Joe, these are always blue-collar games. Every single time between the Steelers and the Ravens. I understand we have some different pieces on the board this year on both sides, but these games are always played down to the number. 48.5? I know the Ravens have been playing overs, but Joe, that seems like that's way too much for me.
That's a premium that I'm not willing to pay. That's a premium that I'm not willing to pay. Under.
Yeah.
Smash under. That's a smash total. It's not going to be on my card, though. It's not going to be on my card.
Might be on mine. Might be on
What
yours? What about who wins the game, Joe? Where do you stand on that?
I don't know. What? Say it again. Say that one more time.
Where do you stand on the actual game? Who do you think is going to win the game?
I think the Ravens win. I think the Ravens win. That game that they won last week in the final 3 minutes, gutty win. It was a physical game, but Pittsburgh, to me, up against them, I don't see Russ putting up that many points. And I know we say it's going to be an under, but I think Baltimore will watch. They'll win this game 28-13, I think. This is going to be an ugly Steeler game. This is going to be an
13.
Yeah, I think this is. I don't think they match up well.
You think the offense is going to sputter here, huh? You think think Russ sputters on Sunday against the Ravens?
Put it this way: I don't think that the Steelers have the outside speed to do what Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow did. That is. I just don't. I don't think they have that type of playmakers on the outside. Pickens is good. I don't think Pickens is elite yet. And certainly, I think they're more of a blue-collar team. You're going to get more of a 6 or 7 minute drive with the Steelers and trying to score a touchdown or play for field goals. And on the flip side, I don't know if they could stop Lamar. I just don't.
Wow. You don't know if they could. It's hard for anyone to stop Lamar. Now, they've had the most success at stopping Lamar. They've had the most success. I know the Ravens
secondary is poor. I get that, but we're making it sound like the Steelers' weapons and I like Mike Williams. Mike Williams has been an added addition. I couldn't get a number on him on FanDuel last week. The number was 11.5. 1 reception, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Incredible. Change of scenery. Guys stepping up.
Yep. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. We'll do the picks when we come back next.
Loser is kind of a mean-spirited slur.
But it doesn't have to stick.
Tell them to listen to SportsGrid and fix it.
No, thank you. Later.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you.
800-365-6303. 800-365-6303. 800-365-6303. That's 800-365-6303.
Carver and Lisi.
The Bills, when they have lost the Chiefs the last few years, sure as hell isn't because of Josh Allen. His performance in the 13-second game, probably the greatest playoff performance by a losing quarterback eventually ever. So you could go chew on all that. Allen hasn't beaten the Chiefs in January because his defense has let him down, his coach is an idiot, and his kicker let him down.
It's Carver and Lisi with Mike Carver and Joe Lisi. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. On the SportsGrid Radio Network. No way football is playing in the fall and winter
Because the hits don't hurt as much when you're numb.
Get the lowdown on all the sports action coming up right here. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Yeah. And we're back. Carver and Lisi with you, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM, channel 159. All right, Joe. One thing is true as we get ready for the NFL picks right now. Both of us need to be better when it comes to the NFL picks. We have both been subpar is probably the nicest way that I could put the stretch that me and Joe have been on with the NFL. In terms of our picks here for the show. I know, well, I mean, look at last week, Joe. You were 1-3 last week. I was 0-4 last week.
All right.
Now, I was
I
really mad, Joe, because included in my 0-4 was that Charger-Titan game going over with that useless touchdown that Will Levis scored in the last minute of the game. That put that game over. I wanted to put my hand through the TV. And then the Texan-Lion game at night ended up going over by a half. I had the under in that. I had under 48.5, and they scored 49 points with that field goal at the end and the Lions rallying. So I lost 2 unders by a half last week. So that's
tough.
I'm hoping, Joe, that some of the good karma maybe starts to swim me. I'll get a couple by a half this week. If I'm due maybe for something like that with our picks. But you are 19-21 on the season, and I'm 16-23-1. So we both have a lot of work to do here as we come down the stretch in November and December. Let's go, Joe. What do you got?
All right, so pick number 1. This is a team that lost on Monday night against Miami. They're playing on the road, early kick against the Patriots. Carver, I think the Rams, you name your score. I think they're going to win this game by double digits. I think the Patriots are absolutely atrocious. Yes, they're playing well, and against gutless teams like the Bears, they could pull out wins 19-3, and everybody will buy in. This team is better than what they are. They suck. They really do. Matt Stafford and this team on the road. I don't care if it's an early kick. McVay going up against Gerard Mayo. Drake May going up against Stafford. Name your score. The Rams paced the Patriots. I'm laying the 4.5, pick number 1. Big, bad Aaron Rodgers. All he does, baby, is run the Jets down into the dirt. They're laying 3.5 against the Colts. Anthony Richardson coming back. I believe in Anthony Richardson enough to know that I don't think the Jets can shut them down. A little Jonathan Taylor, a little Alec Pierce, a little passing attack. I think they win the ball game outright. Tell me what the Jets are playing for again. Are the Jets playing for a playoff spot after they got cracked in the mouth against the Arizona Cardinals? And who picked the Cardinals in that game? I said the Cardinals would absolutely boat race the Jets, and they smashed them. Too bad the Jets couldn't play somewhat decent to give me the over. Pick number 2, the Colts outright over the Jets, but for the sake of the show, give me the 3.5. Ravens laying the 3 at Pittsburgh. You name your score. 10, 13. I don't care that TJ Watt is there. I don't care that Russell Wilson's playing better. One thing I do know, the Ravens have a more complete offense than Russell Wilson and that team. They're going to have to outscore the Ravens to push tempo. If they want, they're going to have to score in the 30s. They can't do it. They don't have Jamar Chase or an elite wide receiver. Give me the Ravens minus the 3, and then the gutless Dirty Birds. I did this for Matthias. Your team sucks. Kirk Cousins never lives up to expectations, okay? All you do is you drive this train back down to 500 each and every year. You have optimism, and the Dirty Birds just rip the carpet right underneath you. All they do is lose to teams that they should beat, and teams that they should lose to, they actually win, which equates to nothing more than a 500 team going on the road to Denver, losing back-to-back games. I think they're ripe. Did you hear me? Ripe. Give me Denver minus the 1.5 against the Falcons. What do you think about that, tough guy?
He's been pumping up the Falcons all week here.
I think they're bum picks, Joe. That's what I think. Falcons, dog money. Like you said, they win games they're not supposed to win. And guess what? This is a game they're not supposed to win, and they're going to win, Joe. So it looks like you're on the wrong side yet again, my friend. Let's go.
To win. Come on, Carver.
They're dogs. They're dogs.
Yeah, but they're Carver. They got a rookie quarterback. Come on.
They are dogs. I mean,
you said it, baby. You said it. You said
they should be. Your team is gutless. You paid this guy a boatload of money.
I think
he's terrible.
I think this is a very, very tough spot for Atlanta this week. Back-to-back weeks on the road against
looks like I made the Carver and Lisi picks a checker on a checker.
I'm not picking them. I'm not picking them for my picks. I'm not picking them. In fact, what do I got here? I got 3 minutes. I think I can get through all mine in 3 minutes because 2 of them we've already pretty much talked about. Pick number 1 for me, Joe. I told you, I laid it out for you already. I'm on the under in the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. Under 48.5. It's a blue-collar game. You're probably right. Ravens probably maybe take control of it. I think that there's a chance Pittsburgh can win because that Pittsburgh D and Watt and those guys, they know how to shut down Lamar Jackson. They've done it before. But that also equates to where I'm going, which is the under 48.5 between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I also, Joe, pretty much told you one of my other picks already, which is I think we get POINTS, points in this Bill-Chief game. That 46.5 is too low. Usually they're in the high 40s, low 50s when these two play in terms of where the total is. They've dropped it a few points here. Now's when you take advantage. Jump on the over. 46.5 out there. Now the next two, Joe, which I haven't got to yet. We haven't mentioned either of these games yet. Number 1, the Lions are like they're on a mission right now. They had the great comeback last week in Houston. They're 8-1. They're flying high. I usually, Joe, don't like to dabble in huge numbers, but I've seen enough. This is a smash-mouth football team. They're a great football team at home. And what really doesn't worry me about 2 touchdowns is I watched Tennessee go in there a couple weeks ago, actually like play with them for a quarter, and it was like 14-14, and the Lions still smashed them 52-14. Similar spot. similar bad team. You have Mac Jones playing with no Lawrence. The tank's out as well. This is a smash city special in the Motor City, Joe. I'm laying the 13.5 with the Lions at home. Big number. I ain't scared. I ain't scared about this one either. And this team didn't do it for me last week, but I'm going back to the well because I'm a believer right now. And that is the Niner train is going to start to pull away here. They won in Tampa. Maybe they shouldn't have. They didn't cover. Now they go home against a team that, as Joe knows, they historically play very well against at home. They usually take care of Seattle, really in both spots. But minus 6.5, I don't care that Seattle's coming off the bye. I don't care that they're getting DK Metcalf back. This is the Niners starting to take control in the NFC West, get themselves even up here with Arizona. Yes, they've lost to them already, but they're going to start. The Niners always get it cooking out of the bye, and they started it last week in Tampa, so I'm going to lay it, Joe. Niners minus 6.5, Lions minus 13.5, over in the Bill-Chief game, 46.5, and under 48.5 in the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game. My 4 picks for this week.
All right. So you like the under in Baltimore. You like that.
Yeah.
See, I don't like the Niner game in any capacity. I don't like that
Niners
game.
Niners always beat the Seahawks at home. Always beat them. Always beat up the Seahawks at home. The last few years in the Shanahan era, at least. They always take care of business against them. You think Detroit smash City? Or you're going to probably try to sell me the Jaguars in some shape or form? You're going to sell me Mac Jones in Ford Field on Sunday, Joe? Come on. Don't do that to yourself. You know you don't want to do that.
Mac Jones in Ford Field. No, he's terrible. This team has nothing to play for. How about the over?
The Lions might get it by themselves. Carver and Lisi, Sports Radio, Sirius XM.
Yeah, it's getting cooler. Football weather is here. Stay tuned for all the latest odds, strategies, and info. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. Sports Rage Tonight.
But Elliott missed from 44 earlier, and I didn't care. I was like, yeah, whatever, good. I'm on Washington because I have the long field goal prop over 47.5. But now this bastard just missed a 51-yarder. Now I do care. And now he's screwing with our total. And I should have already just won my long field goal prop like I always do very early in the game.
It's Sports Rage Tonight with Gabe Morency. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. On the SportsGrid Radio Network. SportsGrid TV and radio networks are the premier streaming video and audio channels dedicated to serving the sports wagering audience. Found on major smart TV platforms and streaming on SportsGrid Radio and Sirius XM Channel 159. SportsGrid's real-time data, expert commentary, and entertaining analysis transform viewers into informed sports enthusiasts. Our weekday radio lineup begins with the early line at 8 a.m. Eastern with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Donnie joins Kevin Walsh on Money Line at 11 a.m. Eastern, followed by Football Full Circle at noon Eastern. Kaplan and crew join the party at 1 p.m. Eastern, and Pharrell Coast to Coast keeps things rolling from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern. Get in the mix with Kevin Walsh and Game Time Decisions at 6 p.m. Eastern. Evenings simmer with Carver and Lisi, then boils over with Gabe Morency on Sports Rage Late Night at 10 p.m. Eastern. To find out where to find SportsGrid that's best for you, go to sportsgrid.com. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
A long pass up to Baylor. Baylor goes in, has it.
1960, Elgin Baylor of the LA Lakers scores 71 points versus the New York Knicks.
His first year with the Lakers as a rookie, he led a team in scoring, rebounding, and assists.
Baylor averaged 27.4 points and 13.5 rebounds during his 14-year career with the Lakers. For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
Fall is almost here. It's time to stow the lawnmower and get ready for all that glorious action coming your way. Stay tuned to SportsGrid for all the strategies, angles, and info you need to get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Yeah. And we're back. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM. Channel 159. All right, Joe, we got to spend a few minutes here on this because they're fighting a little bit. Is this Tyson Jake Paul thing, and I know Joe loves the fights, although I think this is more of a farce than a fight that you have
don't think it's a
happening here
real
now.
fight?
No, I think the entire thing is fixed. I think it's fixed. Maybe that's just the conspiracy theorist in me. I can't believe they're letting people bet on
Tyson
this.
looks fantastic at the weigh-in. He looks fantastic.
Joe, he's 58 years old. Okay, this is a total money-making scam that these guys have
It's a
concocted.
30-year-old difference.
Joe, it's a scam. The entire thing is nonsense.
Here he is, Ferdy Pacheco behind us. Here he is, Ferdy.
It's a 30-year difference, Joe. The kid's 28. Tyson's 58. He's 30 years old.
But
one's an athlete, one's an old man.
He doesn't even fight real boxers, this guy. He fights MMA
He fights
fighters
amateur.
and
He's an amateur boxer. He's a young amateur boxer who's 28 years old.
They've got so many people trying to watch this dopey thing on Netflix that the stream's broken everywhere. Like, I'm watching people on Twitter right now. They're going nuts. The stream isn't working. Matthias, you're watching it. The stream isn't working, right? I mean, they can't even get the damn thing on.
It freezes. The stream freezes, and then I gotta get out of it and start it back up, and then it's good for like 5 minutes, and then it freezes.
That's it. And this is a sidebar here, Joe. I'm gonna do this because this is going on. If they want to be in this game, and remember, Netflix has both NFL games on Christmas Day. They have both NFL games on Christmas Day. If Netflix wants to swim in the deep, if Netflix wants to swim in the deep waters of having live sporting events, you cannot have bad streams and people not being able to watch. And say what you want about how many people are trying to watch Mike Tyson fight. We know one thing, Joe. The NFL is king crab when it comes to sports in the United States. And on Christmas Day, I know everybody's going to be unwrapping the presents under the tree. But they're going to want to watch the Steelers and the Chiefs, Joe, at 1 o'clock or whatever the hell that game is on Christmas Day. So you can't have people trying to watch the NFL go, what the hell's this? What do we got going on here? So if this is, and they want to do everything, right? So they want to be in on NBA. They want to be on this, that. You can't have your stream on live sports not work.
Preach, brother, preach. So, this is it. Carver's setting them straight. I like when you start setting people straight. That's it. Carver already said he can't have it. Can't do it. Not on my watch. 7-0.
Give me the prop. What do you got for this fight? What do you got for this fight?
I want to take this 50-1 shot where Mike Tyson to somebody to be knocked down in the 1st and 8th rounds.
Wait, 1st and 8th?
Yes. 40-1.
All right. I mean, okay. I mean, my thing is, Joe, how is this guy going to make it 8 rounds?
A knockdown in rounds 1 and 8. Now it's 38-1. He's going to come
moving the
out
number.
like
just talking about it. You're moving the number.
Everything I do bothers you. I don't understand. It pays $1,900. We only
play
have
it.
2 minutes.
I can't play it. New York, no good.
Do we think that Tyson could eat a shot? That's the real question. Do we think that he could eat a shot at 58 years old? One clean punch, one clean shot. Well, Joe, at the same time, this guy hasn't been hit by a real shot in years. If Jake Paul lands a real shot, this guy might just take a knee and say, I'm done with this. Because he might die, Joe.
Let me fly. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Joe, you're not supposed to get hit in the head at 58 years old like that.
Why don't we test it out? There's a 20-year-old difference between me and you. I'll find the 14-ounce glove.
Joe, you're losing 10 years here, Joe. It's a 30-year age gap, not a 20-year, a 30-year age gap. 20-year, it's doable. You might land one on me, but I'll land 5 on you.
He's not gonna land a good shot because
no
the fight's been predetermined. It's predetermined, so it's already. This is all been talked about beforehand.
So wait. So you're saying, hey, Mike, when I throw the uppercut, you just make sure you're open.
Joe,
when I throw,
this is not a real sporting event. It's not.
Carver, don't
not a real sporting event.
You're betting on it. It's sanctioned.
You shouldn't be. It's not sanctioned everywhere. I can't bet on New York. There's plenty of states you can't bet on it because it's not on the up and up.
You know what the problem is? You're negative. You're negative. You're not seeing the positive in what it brings. This is Gen Z versus old school. This is back to crunk boxing.
Gen Z? What are you talking about?
To back up Carver a little bit, BetMGM in Vegas already refunded some bets for people betting the over. A lot of people that bet the over in BetMGM in Las Vegas were refunded their bets and canceled bets before the fight even began already. So
why?
Why
did they refund bets?
Because I guess there was a lot of bets going on the over, and the rules got mixed up, so they scrapped the bet altogether.
See, Joe, there's problems. This whole thing is a sham, and these guys have already laid out. This is worse than the McGregor-Mayweather fight. It's already been laid out what's going to happen and when. You're all being taken for a ride tonight in this thing. You're all being taken for a ride.
This is it. It's this is it. You're the guy going into the bar telling nobody to have a drink. This is it.
You know what? I made a mistake. It wasn't BetMGM Las Vegas. It was BetMGM Arizona.
I'm telling
BetMGM Arizona.
This is it. There's a hurricane coming tonight. Don't have a drink.
Watch Mike Tyson. And I'll listen. When we're done, I'll go in. I'll go in. I'll flip it on. I'll see what's going on.
I'm telling you, there's a tidal wave coming. Don't have a drink tonight.
Wagering American dollars on it? No. No shot.
You know what?
No shot.
Just for that, I'm putting it in $50 on $50. Look at that. Like clockwork. I'm back. 50 bucks. $50.
$50. Cash money.
$50.
Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. We're back here.
The boys of summer become the champions of fall. The World Series is on its way. And SportsGrid brings you every angle. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
Maybe you've heard of the infinite monkey theory. A monkey randomly typing on a typewriter for an infinite amount of time could eventually type out the complete works of Shakespeare.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it.
A University of Technology in Sydney decided to test this theory. What would happen if a reasonable population of 200,000 monkeys, all typing one letter per second until the end of time? The universe, a cold, dead cinder. The number 10 with 99 zeros, years. The answer? There's only a 5% chance that a single monkey would even type the word bananas.
So what you're saying is, it's not to be.
Follow me at Capalbo on X, and stay tuned to the Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
Paid for by Steel Man Pills. 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851. 800-823-3851. That's 800-823-3851.
No way football is playing in the fall and winter because the hits don't hurt as much when you're numb. Get the lowdown on all the sports action coming up right here. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
And we're back. Carver and Lisi, SportsGrid Radio, Sirius XM 159. I know we've had a lot of other things going on, Joe. The Spur-Laker game is a hell of a game that they're playing here in San Antonio. Yeah, it's been a good one. They've been going back and forth. Lakers up 111-109 with 3 minutes to go in that game. So that's been pretty good tonight in the NBA. Man, Russell's been such a stiff for the Lakers. Colorado State's up 24-3 on Wyoming. That's since just started the second half. The Roadrunners, beep, beep, UTSA, up 27-7 on North Texas at the half. Washington has a 7-0 lead as they've started the second quarter against UCLA. Under, baby, under. And
what do you mean under? I have the over. What are you doing? They're inside the 15.
I'm on the under.
You took the under after you knew I said the over? You're gutless.
Under.
You made the bulletin board. I knew you were gutless. 3rd and 6.
I'm on the over in the Houston-Arizona game with you. Houston-Arizona
you know what?
I took with you.
Hope it goes down like a dart now. All right?
Why? We're together on that. We're together on that. Why?
No, I didn't put that one in yet. This Garber sucks. This guy. What are we doing here? They're kicking a field goal.
Can't back him, Joe.
I need him for points. This guy looks like Rex Ryan's brother.
Can't back him. So there you go, Joe. We have every. Oh, and Matthias gave some good picks. The UFC's at the Garden tomorrow night in Madison Square Garden, and he's on this Chandler. He's got Chandler to beat Oliveira, and he sounds like he's. I don't know. I think he knows that John Jones isn't going to lose in the main event, so he knows.
There's no way I can bet against John Jones. No way. He's too big, too fast, too quick, too strong. You know how it goes. He'll take him down. He won't even try to stand with him. But yeah, Joe, I love this play for you. Exactly, Joe. American All-Star, American Bulldog, baby. Michael Chandler plus 210 for the KO.
Plus 210, Joe? That's a little juice. Plus 210.
Well, that's just the win, guys. Plus, let's go, Joe. You know what I mean? It's
bigger,
your type of
faster,
play.
Stronger. Listen to him. Bigger,
faster, stronger, tougher.
Bigger, faster, stronger. Everybody's talking about how strong John Jones is. All he does is muscle me around, the John Jones.
He's going to take him down with a double leg. He's going to take him down with a double leg.
What do you got this weekend, Joe? College football today.
College football today, tomorrow, 9 to 12. Sunday, 12 to 1, 10 to 1. Then Monday night, 8 to 12.
Syndicate
and
crew
Thursday
on Monday night.
The syndicate play.
And then Thursday. Who the hell's playing Monday night? Oh, Cowboys-Texans on Monday night. You got any interest in that game?
That's a good game. Yeah, of course.
I didn't actually throw you a bunch of games, Joe. We like I said, we were a little off track tonight with all the things. What about you? Who do you like in the Bengal-Charger game Sunday night? Who do you like in the Charger-Bengal game?
I like the Bengals.
You would.
Who do you like? Tough guy?
I kind of like the over. The over 47.5.
How about the Saint game? Who do you like in that game? I think how
do you not take Rizzy, right? We on Rizzy? How do you not back Riz, the Rizzler? How do we not back him?
He's like a stone cold chili out there, they were saying.
Can you
backed up the toilet? He backed up the toilet, the Rizzler?
I could see the Vikings being sloppy again in Tennessee like they were in Jacksonville last week.
And what, just grinding to a win? Nothing?
And not cover. I could see the Titans covering that 5.5.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
You got any confidence in the Dolphins laying 7 at home against the Raiders?
No. Do you? No, they didn't deserve to win on Monday night. They got lucky.
Everybody got lucky.
Everybody thinks they're going to be a playoff contender. Tyreek Hill, he catches a touchdown. I can't back
Everybody's
that team.
All-American. Everybody's All-American.
Please.
Well, it's a big weekend, Joe. We got lots of college football, lots of NFL.
I like the slate. The slate is very difficult to bet this week because you have teams looking to become bowl eligible. You have teams with their backs against the wall. You have teams that are they have to be worried about making any moves.
Joe, great job as always. Good luck to you this weekend. Great job by Matthias Burbell. Carver and Lisi, Sports Grid Radio. Cash a bunch of tickets. We'll see you back here on Tuesday night on the Grid. Have a good weekend.
Luck is winning the lottery.